Filipe Toledo with a chance to go back-to-back with his world titles. He won the first battle, and we were talking about 8s and 9s throughout that entire matchup.
I love the moment where Griffin and Ethan paddled out. The crowd up there was so vocal, and it was so cool. They just went absolutely nuts. And I even asked Griffin, I was like, how did you block everyone out? Like, for me personally, I would have melted. That infamous seaweed monster out there just grabbed him. But
that might free him up without priority. He's one of the most dangerous on tour. Toledo now. Springy little foam climb. Sets that rail. Full roundhouse with the rebound. Back out in the open face for a big hook. He's got a cool little inside track. Loves the punt. Tail whip reverse and pulls it to get things started.
That final maneuver was really nice. You can see just gliding into it here. Comes around this first section, little foam climb, and then the big wrapping roundhouse. Gets nice and high on the rebound. Out on the open face again. A carve, and right here we knew his intention. It was always going to go to the air. And a funky little 360 rotation there.
That would have been anyone's highlight on Instagram, and he's just like, yeah, I'll throw this one away.
Well, any big points from you, Mick, on this race?
To me, it looked like he was just getting the legs moving. They've been sitting for a long time. The nerves. This is a point where he's one up, and so a lot of emotion builds up. The pressure builds up, but the way these guys are surfing right now, I doubt this 5's even going to play it.
Look out.
Filipe setting up to the left now. Free to roam under priority. Coming off a 5.17. Looks like he wants to ramp up on the left. Throws just a quiet little reverse. Really didn't want to land that. He just threw that one away. A completely different story here in match number 2. Wave stop to kick it off. But here's Filipe Toledo in motion. So cool on that wrapping cutback. How connected he is. Such a sharp blade on that wrapping cutback. No mistakes through that carving work. Another look here to see what he accomplished, Mick.
Yeah, it was sort of, Ethan had a look at it and then pulled back, but it had like a lot of ribs in the face, but Filipe just goes through them with sharp knives. It was a solid wave. In the context of where the heat is at right now with 9 minutes, like it might not be the biggest score of the day, but it's a solid backup. Now he's into the 11-point range, and Ethan's going to need 2 waves.
As we see him shut it down, so looking to get another score with his 5.17. Ethan Ewing has to get started. He loves that controlled carve to tail release. Controls it on the second one and hops out. I love the different variety that he puts on those carves. Ones where he just lets go of all of his speed, and some where he keeps it into a second maneuver and a combination. It feels like he can just be really spontaneous with that decision. What'd you see here, Mick?
Yeah, look, it was nice. He sort of knows he has to get going, and I would have loved to have seen him finish this way.
Yeah,
to be honest.
I agree.
Just to put a score on the board.
5:30 to go. Important moment for Ethan Ewing. Trying to force a third matchup. Flowing down the line. Snaps over the roof. Out in front. Fin ditch on that one. Let's see him finish this one out. Ewing stays on his feet.
Came from behind in a lot of the maneuvers here. So watch this first turn, projects up and over this foam section, starts to accelerate, comes from behind. Drifting snap, and again, sort of a tail drift snap, getting the fins free, and then a third one. So I think it was perhaps on that last one, or second to last one, is where that board's maybe buckled.
There.
So much torque in between the 2 feet there. It's a real pressure point.
Look at the size of the kid.
Yeah, he's got some thighs on him.
Are you kidding me?
That was radical. Yeah, trying to pick the turn that actually caused the crease. And there could have been a little quiet buckle in it from a heat before.
Right there, you could see the flex. Yeah. You could see the board flex there. And, at this level, these guys can feel it go underneath their feet. And really, if he tried to ride this board.
Looks like he's feeling a crease on his board. Throwing the wrap in the pocket is Toledo.
Oh.
One of the fastest guys on the planet is going to shut this one down again.
There it is.
Letting out the roar, looking at his family on the beach. His wife's there, saw his dad. I think every Toledo came from Ubuntu. And while Ewing was changing out his board, Filipe did this, Mick.
Yeah, look, this turn here, he's like, look at that.
Stabs it.
So much torque in those. Like, he just whips it so hard. He's got this rotation that's, oh.
The change of direction is so acute here. Just jams it right there, just laying that back arm into it. That's allowing him to pivot so tightly, and then straight back up into the lip again. A lot of expression and flair too in the upper body.
The best of variety on tour. Go to a third deciding heat just for surf fans down here on the beach and all over the globe. These two have been unstoppable today. Ewing against all odds just to be here from fracturing his L3 and L4 in Tahiti. He's up now. Quick whip there, under priority. Deep on that one, he's getting out. Underneath the whitewater, Ewing still chasing a 6.6, and the Brazilians are starting to celebrate.
He's been brilliant from start to finish. He's had the wins, and it looks like he's going to be crowned world champion again.
In back-to-back seasons, Filipe Toledo is your world champion. World number 1, completing his year from start to finish. Lights out in the first heat with Ethan Ewing, turning in some of the best performance surfing we've seen all year, and just such a well-deserved champion in back-to-back years. This is the era of Filipe Toledo. The title stays in Brazil, and hats off to Ethan Ewing against all odds just to be here. Turns in his best year to date. So impressed me.